What up, family? Welcome back to Unto Read a New Me, episode 18, Trusting B. And as always, we must start by honoring our ancestors. So today's quote comes from J. Carla Norcutt, and it says, "The goal of a great leader is to help people to think more highly of themselves." And I think this quote really stands out to me because that's the whole mission of Unlearn to Relearn. Like, the reason I started it was not only for me to learn why I'm self-sabotaging and why it's so hard for me to take care of myself and why I doubt myself. But it's also about collective healing and making sure that we all unlearn these things and relearn how to self-care, how to self-love, so that we can heal and grow. Because if one of us is not happy, then none of us can be happy. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So definitely check out my blog on learntorelearn.us. It is in maintenance, but we do have newsletters coming out every Friday, and it should be relaunching pretty soon. How I'm feeling today? Today I'm feeling pretty hopeful. Like, class was trash. I mean, it wasn't trash. Like, the class was good, but I was not expecting to be in nobody's live class today. And both of my professors was like, actually, let's do it this way today. But the classes were pretty decent, so I'm feeling pretty hopeful. I ain't mad at them. I mean, I was today, but I ain't mad at them right now. I'm being pretty forgiving. As far as my daily goals go, I did not meditate today because I did not finish my homework last night. I'll be honest. And I had to use that 20 minutes that I take in the morning to do some extra reading. But I still have time before I go to bed tonight. So that is my goal. My goal is to, before I fall asleep, go ahead and get that 20 minutes of meditating in. But other than that, I got everything done, so I'm feeling pretty good. I ain't mad at myself today. For the self-care questions for today, the first question is, who do you trust the most and why? And this question really came from me starting over the Momentum Shadow Workbook. And I started over because, like I told y'all the other day, I got to one of them chapters and she was all happy, and I was like, sis, no. So I started over, and today's chapter was trust, and I was just looking at my answers in the book, and I'm just like, these are so basic. Like, these are just like generic answers. One of the questions was, who do you trust and why? And I put friends and family, and it's just like, you could have named like 3 people. You know what I'm saying? And then I really thought about, okay, who would I name? And then why would I name those people? Like, what have we been through? How do I know that I trust them? You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's really where that question comes from. And I think it's important to know who you trust, because that really shows who you can count on in times of hardship. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just to be like, get your shit together. It's like they might not be able to give you nothing, but they might be able to push you and move you so that you can get what you need to get done. So I think it's super important to know who you trust the most and why. The next question is, how do you build trust and why? And I think this comes from I've been doing a lot of like Black August studying, and I've been really wanting to research more on gangs. And gangs know how to build trust, and it makes sense the way they build trust because of the shit they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's wild, but it makes sense. And also, that's not how I'm trying to build trust. So I think that just in thinking about that, it really made me think about, like, how have I built trust in the past? Like, what kind of things have the people that I say I trust and I've been through to really say that we trust each other and we can count on each other? You know what I'm saying? And I know that you're not feeding me no crap. You keeping it real, you know? So I think that that's why that question is important. How do you build trust and why? Because it shows you whether you really can trust the people that you think you trust. I talk with spirit, and I got some new cards today, actually. So today I got the King of Brooms, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Brooms. We got that one before. The King of Brooms stands for a charismatic leader. And, I appreciate that, whatever. But what stood out to me from the reading was undertake everything with maturity, and it will bring enrichment to your life and lives of others. And I think that this really stands out to me because I've been fighting with being a leader for a long time, but I feel like if I put the lessons that I've learned and I really just woman up, you know what I'm saying, and face these battles and share the knowledge, then like we will be better. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that I'm finna end all trauma or nothing, but I think that we'll understand that the power is in our hands as a collective, and we'll be able to take the next steps, whatever those steps may be for ourselves, to heal and grow. So I think that that's really why that stands out to me, and I'm open to it, The King of Brooms actually represents life and creativity, fire, strength, and drive. But of course, I got it reversed. And reversed, it represents impulsiveness, haste, ruthless, and high expectations. And I think that's real. You know what I'm saying? I can be very harsh towards myself and others, especially today when I'm like, y'all is law school professors. Why am I walking in? Like, why am I waking up in the morning and I got an email telling me I'm supposed to be in somebody's Zoom today? You know what I'm saying? That's not how it's supposed to work. But the reality is, I've been in the classroom and I've been a teacher, and I understand, like, sometimes you got to switch shit up. Like, this other way ain't going to work. Y'all already done sent me 25,000 emails. So I'm trying to practice really being forgiving, and hopefully I'll work through these things that came up today. The next card was the Five of Pentacles, and this card actually represents shortage. And what stood out to me from the reading was stop telling yourself you're not enough to be accepted and included. And I think that really stood out to me because of the other cards that I've gotten that say negative self-talk, you know what I'm saying, conflict with the decision for self. It's really like, I understand that the world is set up against me, and having that knowledge is heavy as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of weight. And I carry that into every room, but what I realize is, like, that's not my weight to carry. That's their problem. If you got an issue and you think I ain't supposed to be here, do something about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep coming through, and hopefully things will work out in my favor. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't, it's another lesson. It makes me stronger. And if I ain't dead, I got another chance. You know what I'm saying? They said Walt Disney failed 99 times, but he was racist, so that's really probably why. The next card, this card represents, with like the snow and the man on the crutch, and this man right here having only a blanket. This card represents being so focused on the plight that you're missing the hope, and the faith and the spiritual support. Because this door is supposed to be the door to a church. So it's like you're missing out on all the help that you could get because you're so focused on what you're going through. And I definitely understand that and can feel that. That card was upright. So it is what it is on that one. The next card I got is a repeat. And this one is victory. And what stood out to me from the reading is, it is good to enjoy success, but wise to be always thinking of how to keep it. And I think this is important because I have a hard time staying organized. Like, because my mind is like at all times, I write things down in one place. I type things, I make a note, I put a note on my phone, I text myself, I record a voice message, and it's just like, I have no idea where I put that one thing that I'm looking for. And I think that this really speaks to that, because it speaks to like, it's worked so far, but because things are changing and I'm growing and I got a business now, and school is about to be over and I'm about to be working as well. It's just like you need to really get your shit together. Like, you really need to get organized if you want all of this to work out well, if you want it to truly be successful. And I hear that. I actually got it upside down too, though. This one was upside down. And upside down, it represents private achievement, personal definition of success, a fall from grace, and egotism. And I think that really speaks to not trying to ask for help. I saw something today that said, we are solopreneurs. And it's like you trying to do it all by yourself. And I really was. I am not anymore. But I really think that this speaks to the future and how I have to recognize that I'm not going to be able to get the victory that I want by myself. So the reading really aligned. I really, I ain't mad at it today. For a poem for today, I have Sometimes I Cry, book of poetry by Moi. And today's poem is called Kings and Queens. And it says, who are we to be in this world of envy, of pride? We try to hide who we are inside. Are we, our me, our reality? To see who they want us to be. So sad, so tired, so criminalized, deprived and filled with lies, so that we know not who we are inside. Are we, our me, our reality, who we are meant to be. Kings and queens and all of the things our ancestors hoped for, wished for, died for, fought to survive for, and instead we fill our heads with white history and misery, depression, obsessions, addictions, afflictions, because we know not who we are, because we've come so far, but not too far to take it back to where we are, who we are, kings and queens, and all of the things that we see in our dreams. Get yours today on unlearn-to-relearn.us. Or hit me up via Cash App. I send it to you through USPS because we need them. Yes, black businesses and small businesses still need USPS. Go buy some stamps. And to end, I have a quote from Brandon Odom, and it says, I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. So leave a comment for the self-care questions for today. Who do you trust the most and why? And how do you build trust and why? All right, y'all, be safe.